Welcome to the Get Real podcast. I am Austin, your host. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to make a new series called the Get Real Rant, where I'm going to rant periodically. Might do this once a week. Depends on what the supply and demand is here. But I want to have a little bit of a series to call my own. And this is where I take a particular topic that's just chapping my ass, and I'll just rant about it for a while. You guys tell me if I'm crazy or if you think I have a legit point, but let's get on with it. Now today I'm going to be talking about a fan base. We talk about spoiled, terrible fan bases all the time, whether it's the LeBron James Miami Heat, where a whole fan base just popped up out of nowhere, and they've been fans of the Miami Heat since 2012, right? Then there's the Warriors fan base, for all the young kids that join that fan base. They have no idea what basketball is. They just like watching that team shoot threes. That's all they know, right? I'm going to be talking about a fan base that doesn't always come to people's minds. It's not the Lakers, not the Celtics, Warriors, Heat, whoever. The fan base that has been the most unbearable to me lately, as of this year, is the San Antonio Spurs fan base. Now, some of you think, well, how is that possible? That team is humble, they have class, they have a great organization. Hear me out. So, we all can't deny that the Spurs had a crazy, great run of success. They're doing fine now, but if you just want to take the 20 years they had, it's a run that any other team in professional sports, period, that people would just love to have. Because even on the years where they were not winning championships, they still had 50-win seasons, conference finals appearances. They were always contenders. Now, what makes this current fan base so unbearable is that now that that's done, now that that looks like it's not going to happen from here on out, the Spurs fan base is imploding. Every single loss this team has comes to the fans saying, we need to tank, we need to blow it up, we need to trade Pop, fire R.C. Buford, trade everybody, keep all the young guys, and tank for the next 5 years to be competitors. My whole thing is, number one, not happening. That's not what the Spurs have been about. That's not what Greg Popovich is about. That's not what that team is about. It's not going to happen, so why go over this every single loss? It's insane. Secondly, appreciate what you had. You had 20 years of one of the best historical sports runs in professional sports history. You got 5 rings out of it, 6 finals appearances, 18 out of those 20 years, you had 50 win games. Oh, and by the way, the one year you didn't get 50 wins is because there was 50 games in a season. It was a lockout season. And now, because things aren't going their way, they're imploding. They're freaking out. Just last week, the Spurs had like 5 out of 6 games where they won 25 plus points in a row. That hasn't happened since Kareem was on the Bucks back in 1971. But because they dropped this game to Houston the other night, they're already back at it. We need to tank. Pop is washed up. He's a fraud. Tim Duncan's gone. It's over. How can a fan base collectively just think that's the way to go consistently? Now, granted, this is not every fan, but when I speak about this, we all know who we're talking about. It's everybody online, some people on SportsCenter, some people on talk shows saying it's over, need to blow it up, woe was me. And I don't get that. It's like your dad handing you a car 20 years ago. It's this brand new, gorgeous looking Ferrari, Corvette, whatever helps you paint that picture. And it's perfect. You had it for 20 years. It's the best run car. You loved it. And then when it's done, it's broken down and totaled. You go, you know what? I had to replace the alternator once, and one of the tires flattened on me. You're going to focus on that the run wasn't always perfect, and right now it's not amazing. You want to ignore all those years of success that anybody, Lakers, Boston, Chicago, New York, would kill to have that. New York hasn't won a title since '71. Chicago hasn't sniffed greatness since Michael Jordan. Even with LA winning 5 championships in that span, for the past 5 years, they've been a tanking lottery team, and the only reason they're relevant now is because they went out and got LeBron James. That's it. Otherwise, they'd be a team outside the playoffs again. Sacramento, they're not a big franchise, but you want to see what a tough franchise looks like, of just failure and failure, losing players, firing coaches. Take a look at that franchise. It could be way, way worse. Houston, They haven't won anything. They've been competitive. They haven't won anything either. OKC, they had 3 MVPs on their team at one point with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. They went to a finals, didn't win, and now 2 of those guys are gone. It could be way worse. And I wish the fan base would take a look at this and just go, you know what? It's not amazing now. We're maybe an average team, but we had 20 years of just complete bliss. And every good thing comes to an end. And we should appreciate what we have. Because this whole tanking thing, I get it if that's what you think is the best way to go. But because we know it's not going to happen, what's the point? What is the freaking point of going over it after every single loss? Oh, they shouldn't have lost to Houston last night without Chris Paul. It happens. We've seen the Warriors drop games to Sacramento and LA when they were a tanking team. It happens. Every team drops a game they shouldn't have. It's why the game is played. We don't watch basketball for the certainties. We watch it for the upsets. We watch it for the underdogs. We watch it for entertainment to see 2 teams go at it because we don't know what the outcome will be. And look at football. What's the mantra for them? On any given Sunday, anything can happen. That's the whole reason we watch sports. So there will be upsets. It's okay. San Antonio still has a good foundation. DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker was supposed to be a lottery pick. Spurs got him at 18. Jakob Poeltl, Derek White, Brian Forbes. They get 2 first-round picks this year. R.C. Buford, a great GM, is still on the team. It's gonna be okay. Are there gonna be contenders to win championships soon? Probably not. They'll probably still be competitive. They're not completely empty at the cupboard for talent. It's gonna be fine. We shouldn't have to do this every single loss over the course of an 82-game season. Oh, tank for Zion, tank for the next top talent, whatever. That should not be the mentality. Otherwise, 25 other teams in this NBA might as well tank. And it's that the NBA we want to see. That's my rant. That's my first rant. I've been holding that in for a while. I want to get that out. By the way, I've been watching the Spurs since 2001. So I feel like I'm most fitted to kind of go off in this fan base, tell them to get it together. What do you want me to rant about next? What would you like for me to get onto? Was this rant warranted? Am I kind of going nuts for no reason? Let me know. This was the Get Real Rant. Hopefully you guys like this and there'll be more in the future. Thank you.